My name is Jermaine Williams. I'm the provost of the Bard High School Early College campuses in Cleveland, and I would like to welcome you all to our ribbon cutting ceremony. This school has been in the planning stages for quite some time, and it's very, very, very exciting to see it in full action. We've been in school for a couple of weeks now. Our students and faculty have been doing an amazing job, and we're really happy to celebrate with all of our partners today. A big part of this work, the reason we're opening these new schools, is part of the Cleveland Plan. And if you don't know what the Cleveland Plan is, you should definitely look it up. It's all over the CMSD website. But essentially, it's a plan that helps the district move to where we want to be as a district, how we want education in Cleveland to look like. And part of that is coming up with options for students and families that look just like this school. So I'm very excited to be part of that work. And one of the things I like most about working in Cleveland is the Cleveland Plan. A big part of the Cleveland Plan is also recruiting great talent to work in our schools and to lead our schools. And so I'd like to introduce Leah Dotson, who's a principal here at Bard High School Early College, Cleveland East, for her remarks. Leah.
Good morning. I am so excited to be here. Excited is actually really an understatement. I'm ecstatic to be here. I'm ecstatic that I was chosen to be principal of this wonderful school, of this wonderful building, in this wonderful community. To echo what Dr. Williams said, you know, it took a lot of planning, a lot of thought went into this, and I would be remiss if I also did not mention some very, you know, important people who helped bring this into fruition. Especially, I would like to thank Mr. Eric Gorton, our CEO of the Cleveland Metropolitan School District, and Mr. John Weinstein, Dean of the Early Colleges at Bard College, for really their dedication to this model and their dedication to progressiveness as a whole. Like Dr. Williams mentioned, the Cleveland Plan, very progressive model, and I'm very, very happy to be a part of it. Also, I'd like to thank a few of our elected officials from the House and the Senate who have joined us today. These individuals are supporters of our scholars in our schools, and we'd like to welcome them and thank them as well. We'd also like to thank the leadership of Mayor Frank Jackson and the City of Cleveland and Cleveland Council, the Board of Education, and for their steadfast commitment to our students. Personally, I would also like to thank just the team here in the building. As you know, this is three different schools in the building. So to mention the John Adams team, which also includes John Adams Career and College and John Adams Senior High upstairs. They've been very supportive in everything that we've been doing, and we're very, very thankful for their support and their help throughout this whole process and daily. Also, our families, we have some families here. Really appreciate you entrusting us with such your children. We don't take that lightly. Not only do we not take it lightly, like I said, just the community in general, a community that's very reminiscent of a community that I grew up in and that I'll call home, so it feels as if I'm at home. And every day I get to broadcast and showcase and develop the scholars and the intelligence that comes right from in this community. And I'm excited about that, and everybody should be as well. So thank you. Welcome to Bard. With that, I'd like to pass the mic on to the next portion of our presentation.
It might seem crazy what I'm about to say.
Thank you, Leah. So 3 years ago, the admissions team at Bard High School Early College West, which is on the west side of the city, met a young lady named Tanaya Moore. She applied to our school as a graduate of E-Prep here on the east side. And she really wanted to go to early college, and she really wanted to go to Bard. And her family decided that that was what they were going to do. So she's been traveling from the east side to Bard to attend our early college. And now I'm really happy for you that you don't have to do that. You have one here in your community on this side of campus, side of the city. Tanaya has been amazing in all ways, as a student leader, as a person in the classroom, as a voice on campus, as a smile in the hallway. We can always look for Tanaya to really inspire us and show us what being a Bard student is all about. And so as we invited Tanaya to say a few words here today for us to represent our school, but also speaking to the students. I know a lot of you are looking to see where this goes, and Tanaya is a great example of where you can take your early college career and what you can do with it. Tanaya is a year one student, which means she started taking college classes in August, and she will graduate, I am sure she will, she'll graduate next year with her associate's degree from Bard College and her high school diploma. So I'll hand off to Tanaya Moore.
Yes, so crazy right now. Most incredibly, it's your girl, B.
Hello, everyone. My name is Tanaya Moore. I'm a year one student at Bard High School Early College, which will be a junior at another high school. I am honored to be here to speak to the class of 2021 in the Bard community. I would like to share with you all why I decided to come to Bard, my experience at Bard, and leave the class of 2021 with advice about having a successful experience. So, why did I decide to go to Bard? It might seem strange that someone like myself living on the east side of Cleveland would go to a school on the west side. But I decided to go to Bard because I could graduate with a high school diploma and Associates of Arts degree from Bard College. Bard offers all classes on one campus, and this convenience caught my attention because no other school in my community offered that. Next, I'd like to share my experience at Bard. First, student life. Bard atmosphere and community allows you to be yourself, whether you're into singing, playing sports, or writing. We even have Saga, which is a sexuality and gender alliance club. Teachers and students aren't judgmental. Instead of judging you, they're interested in you and want to know more about you. For example, you're like myself, I never knew anything about basketball. I'm not interested in basketball, then I became the team manager. At Bard, I also got involved in Cleveland Metropolitan School District with the Student Advisory Committee. As a Bard student, you too can participate in clubs, sports, and district decision-making. Finally, I'm going to give a few pieces of advice to make the most of your time at Bard. First, academic advice. Go to office hours, which means meet with your teachers outside of your usual class times to get help with assignments. Never turn in things late, and if you have to miss a due date, at least talk to your teacher about it. Most importantly, do your homework, because that's the main thing. If you feel like you can't push through, know that you can. Now, some advice for being a teenager. Don't change who you are to fit in. It might seem like the only way to make friends is to change who you are, but friends will come along the way. Don't stress about making friends. Just focus on school, because that's the most important thing. Your true friends will accept you for who you are, and they won't want you to change. To conclude, I want to thank you for this opportunity to tell you why I chose Bard, my experience at Bard, and give advice to the class of 2021. High school might seem like it's hard, but it's worth it.
So here at Bard High School Early College, we're also very, very lucky to have support of our work from the community, right, the local community. Our councilman will speak soon, also our state senator. And so the next, I will invite Linda Rucker to join me on stage. She will be presenting us with a proclamation from Senator Sandra Williams. Linda.
The General Assembly of the State of Ohio, Ohio Senate, honoring Bard High School, Early College, Cleveland East on the ribbon cutting. On behalf of the members of the Senate of the 132nd General Assembly of Ohio, we are pleased to pay tribute to Bard High School, Early College, Cleveland East on the ambitious occasions of its ribbon cutting September 15, 2017. Since the Cleveland Metropolitan School District created the first Bard High School, Early College program in 2014, it has achieved a remarkable record of service to the community, becoming one of the area's most beloved institutions of learning. Indeed, the establishment of Bard High School Early College Cleveland East will introduce even more young people to the benefits of knowledge, the delights of friendships, and the value of self-reliance, and it will establish a solid foundation of superior programs and hope to promote achievement in all aspects of academic life.
Without question, the Cleveland Metropolitan School District has championed ambitious standards and encouraged lofty goals in all of its faculty and staff. The remarkable people who direct and sustain the Bard High School Early College program serve area residents with vision and vigor, proving daily that they understand the importance of perpetuating the virtues of the past while embracing the ideals of the future. Thus, it is the great pride that we applaud Bard High School Early College East on the ribbon cutting and extend best wishes for the years to come. Senator Larry Paul, President of the Ohio Senate, Senator Sandra R. Williams, 21st Senatorial District.
So our community support comes in many forms, and now I'd like to invite Zach Reed, our councilman, to the stage for his remarks.
This is how we do it. This is how we do it. La, 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 la.
Good morning. I was interested to know what music you're gonna play because you played Jay-Z for the other people. I was wondering what I was gonna get. That was a good one for me. This is how we do it, right? This is how we do it on the southeast side of the city of Cleveland, right? I wanna thank our councilwoman right here. She just became our head of our Democratic Party, the first African American woman to ever hold that position. And our distinguished state representative, Stephanie House, she's here also. So, and I am going to be very sorry that I am going to literally have to eat and run, in the sense that I've been a councilman now for 16 years, by God's grace, and one of my biggest supporters from the beginning when I became a council person, she passed away last week. And the funeral started at 11, and they had to wait from 11 to 11:30. And anybody who's ever been to a black funeral, you know, they try to pray you into heaven right there. So I know I got a little time, but I need to try to get there as close to 11:30 as I can. So although I won't be able to cut the ribbon, I want you to know I'm grateful and thankful for the opportunity to be here this morning. First of all, I want to thank Ms. Cole, who is a resident of Ward 2. She's a stalwart as it relates to public education. She's always on the front line when it comes to public education. She's sometimes a thorn in Eric's side, but that's a good thorn, right, Eric? And I want to thank Angie Shaker. She may not get too many shout outs here today, but Angie Shaker, if she can just stand up and be acknowledged. There's no doubt in my mind that without Angie Shaker, we would not have Bard College East. She was on that front line, constantly calling me morning, noon, and night, emailing me, texting me, and saying, what are we going to do? How are we going to get students there? Councilman, what do we need to do more and more? And Angie, I want to thank you very much for showing commitment. I want to thank you very much for showing the tenacity and the faith in us, that although it may have started off slow, we made it. And I want to thank you very much for that opportunity. I just want to say, Eric, thank you too. I mean, we've met each other. We've been friends now for an awful long time. And there's one person that is really dedicated to public education. And he's dedicated to you students. And this right here is a prime example of dedication. I mean, when you think about the fact that now you have a life-changing opportunity to get a public education, but at the same time, not only getting a public education, you have an opportunity to get a college education at the same time. And with that life-changing opportunity that you have here today, you not only have the opportunity to not only get a college education free of charge, but now if you have the opportunity to go into a 4-year, instead of paying 4 years, now you only have to pay for 2. And that's because of the dedication and the vision of a man by the name of Eric Gordon. So I think Eric deserves a big round of applause. In closing, I'm glad that I don't have to, it's called Bard College, right? Not Bard/John Adams, right? All right, I want to make sure, because, you know, I went to the greatest high school in the history of high schools, John F. Kennedy High School, all right? But there is excitement here at John Adams. And in a few weeks, we're going to be cutting the ribbon on the new football field outside. 10 years ago, I said that we were going to work as hard as we possibly could to bring a new athletic field to John Adams. So I would say to you right now, this is an exciting time for this campus right here. You should take advantage of that. But in closing, let me just tell you this. In 1979, I graduated from John F. Kennedy. And I took that passport or that diploma and I took it around this nation and first went to college in California. And I never looked down on the fact that I graduated from a Cleveland public school. Don't let anybody, as long as you live, because you went to a public school here at John Adams or here at Bard College, here in the city of Cleveland, tell you you got a secondary education. You got a first-class, world-class education right here on this campus. I use that now as a council person, but it all started right here in Cleveland Public School District. I would not be in this position today if it was not for the teachers, for the administrators, for the principal, and my parents, and God, and Jesus Christ himself. So don't let anybody tell you that when you get this education, that it's not a good education. Don't let anybody tell you that when you get this education, you can't use this education now and in the future. Get that diploma, get that college education, and then give back to your community like we are doing here as public officials. God bless you. Thank you very much. Thank you all.
So the saying is it takes a village to raise a child, and it takes a city, a state, and representatives to open a school. So we have another Representative Stephanie House has a proclamation to share if you'd like to present it. Yes.
I'm not going to say it all.
Yes.
But congratulations to everyone on behalf of the 132nd General Assembly. I really want to congratulate you. This is going to be an exciting time for you all. I know I met some of the scholars here. I know I got to meet some of the scholars in the back, but congratulations to you all. Please know that our office, my office, is your office, and if there's anything I can do to be of service, don't hesitate to give me a call. Congratulations, and I really look forward to seeing you all graduate in 2021.
So I'm going to echo some of what Councilman Reed said around his experience being a Cleveland Metropolitan School alum. I didn't go to Cleveland Metropolitan Schools, but I did go to Bard College. And so this school is amazing because it's that amazing thing that Zachary was talking about being a CMSD student and having that as part of your foundation. For me, the story was different. After high school, ended up at Bard College as a student. Lucky for me. And that's been a thing that's changed my life. Obviously, now I've graduated and I work for Bard, so I obviously like Bard, and things went well, right? But it is no secret, I've shared this many times when I've spoken, I was a first-generation student who went to college on a full scholarship, right? So I knew that I was there for a specific reason, and I knew that I wouldn't have made it there if it wasn't for generosity and support. And so I'm very happy that we're able to provide that level of education for you all free of charge. You don't have to go out and find that scholarship yet. You may have to do it for the last 2 years. But for now, you can have this opportunity right here in your school district. Bard provides a lot of support for these schools. It's part of a network of schools. You all are students at this campus. You have your sister school, if you will, on the west side. Some of those students are here to support you today. You have students that have the same exact experience that you're going through in Manhattan, Queens, in Newark, in Baltimore, right, in Harlem. So this is a network that will mean something to you. If it doesn't mean something to you right now, it will mean something to you before you graduate, and it will definitely mean something to you when you are out there in the world and you meet another Bard student. And you can say, I went to Bard in Cleveland, and you went to Bard in Baltimore. We have that in common, and let's network, and let's make that into something as a combined experience that we want to reflect on. Next speaker is John Weinstein, who is from Bard College. John and I have worked for many years. We worked together in Newark and opened a school there. John is currently now the dean of the early colleges and works out of Annandale, New York, supporting all of our school. So I'm going to ask John to join me on stage and share some remarks.
Put your pinky rings up to the moon. Guys, what y'all trying to do?
Wow, when I was in Newark, we never got entrance music, so I think Cleveland has already moved up a notch, right? Yeah, awesome. Well, good morning, everybody. Really excited to be here in Ohio, which is the state where I was born. I was born in Dayton, not Cleveland. I don't know what people in Cleveland think of Dayton. You probably don't think about it much right now. That's kind of what I thought. So honored to be a part of this experience and to represent Bard College here. And I was the dean of our, what are now with Cleveland East Side, 9 early college programs. So really excited to have you joining the family. It's a really rare experience, what you're about to do, on many levels. One, and this one is a little bit sad to say, it perhaps is more rare than it should be that you're going to get to go to a really great school. I hope someday to be able to come to something like this and not have that be on my list of rare things. And I know that CEO Gordon is working very hard to make that case for everybody, but being real, that is kind of true right now, right? So that is kind of a rare experience. What is also a rare experience is to get to go to an early college. Again, something that I'd like for us to be able to have every motivated student, and whether that motivation is overt, or as I like to say often with our 9th grade students, latent. I think there's a lot of motivation in there that maybe even you yourself haven't discovered, but we're going to bring that out. So that's something that I would really like every student to be able to do. Super rare is going to a degree granting early college. There are a lot of students around the country now doing something that is early college or early college-like. There are a lot of students taking college classes. A lot of people are interested in giving you a few credits, but Bard is one of very few people who want to give you a whole degree, right? And I think that that's what we really need to have more of. We want to give the thing, kind of the piece that matters most. So that, something that is a really rare experience for you. And that's something that you share with all of your brothers and sisters across the Bard network, thousands of students now. But I think the thing that's the most rare, and this is a really special opportunity, because even within that, while someday it will be great when every child in Cleveland and everywhere goes to a great school, very few get to be the founding class of a great school, right? Because each school, we want each school to last and go on for years, and someday when there's 50 graduating classes of Bard High School, Early College, Cleveland East, there will still always only have been one founding class. And I've been really fortunate in my career to get to be the part of 2 foundings directly. I was founding faculty at the first Bard High School, Early College back in New York before it was even in Manhattan. And then I got to be on the founding team along with Dr. Williams at BHSEC Newark. And that is really like nothing else. I feel so fortunate to have gotten to experience that. So the fact that you're getting to experience that is really so special and so unique, because it's really an opportunity to create your school the way that you want it to be, right? So all the Cleveland East students here need to really think, and I'm very serious about this, what do I want this school to look like 4 years from now? Because whether or not it looks like that depends on you, right? And you have the power to make that happen. Recently in Newark, we had an event. It was actually kind of to pass on the principalship that I was passing on to Dr. Carla Stevens. And so we invited all the alums to come. And not surprisingly, the class that had by far the greatest representation was the class of 2015, which was our founding 9th graders. That group has always had amazing cohesion. They felt very invested in creating Bard, in being what Bard is, and that has really continued. So I really look forward to having you have that feeling. One of the students who came to that is a young man named Pablo Idrovo, who arrived as a 14-year-old in 2011 in 9th grade with big dreams of working for JP Morgan Chase and having a really cool ride. And Pablo will also, by his own admission, because he actually, when we were at that event, he said, Dr. Weinstein, can I give a speech? I really want to talk. I said, okay. And he talked about how he maybe hadn't gotten off to the greatest start, and he spent many an hour with Dr. Williams going over some of the ways in which he maybe hadn't gotten off as smoothly as he would like. But that's part of things, you know. We know that happens, and we expect that, and that's fine. And he said, but from that experience at Bard, that gave him the confidence to do what he wanted to do. He wanted to make the school what it was, and by creating a school that he wanted, that enabled him to fulfill those other things. So when he came to this, he was wearing his tie from JP Morgan Chase, where he now works, and he pulled up in front of the school in a really awesome red Mustang convertible. So whatever your dream may be, you can make it happen. I've seen it happen. I've seen it happen very recently with students who were in exactly these same seats in a different city not that long ago. So there's nothing holding your dreams back. We're helping you have all those pieces. So let's make those dreams happen, Cleveland East. Congratulations.
So this school is a real partnership. It's a partnership between Bard College and the Cleveland Metropolitan School District. And that partnership is really the key to our success. Really working together to make both of us, Bard and CMSD, do better work. And that's challenging, but that's really what we're doing. So I want to take some time and really acknowledge all the CMSD employees and supporters in the room. We have representatives from the Portfolio Office, Chief Fowler Mack, Joe Mitchler, Annie Shaker, Ben Schaefer, all right. Others, the faculty and staff of our school, the founding student situation, yes, as Dr. Weinstein said, is extremely important. Founding faculty to step up and start a school from scratch, I applaud you. I know it's hard work. I know you're still figuring it out, and we're going to figure it out together, but I really do want to applaud our faculty for taking that piece on. And so, without further ado, and waiting to see what music gets played, our CEO, Eric Gordon, our biggest supporter and biggest part of this partnership. Thank you.
Turn down for what?
Councilman Reed said it, but I too, as soon as there was music, I was like, uh-oh. And when you're the last one, you find out whether they like you or not. So good morning, everybody. I'm really excited also to bring some remarks. Before we do, I want to just share my own set of thank yous. First of all, I do want to just say to Tanaya, so everybody else came up here and we had our devices, and then Tanaya came up, pulled out her phone, and provided that amazing experience, which made me feel really old, but I'm really proud to see Tanaya again because I was actually at your ribbon cutting when you came as a founding member in your class. So good to see you again, and well done. Let's give her another round of applause. We've already recognized a number of our political leaders in our community, but I do actually want to more formally recognize Councilwoman Chantel Brown, who is a rebel, John Adams rebel, stand up, and is in her wine-colored Rebels gear. I, on the other hand, did not plan so well. Mine's at the dry cleaner right now, so I got up this morning and went, oh no, I'm going to John Adams and I'm wearing green. It'll have to do. I didn't pick a color that would offend. I picked one that was neutral, but welcome home. Great to see you. And I also want to take an opportunity directly to recognize our portfolio team, Chief Christine Fowler-Mack, who leads this work. I want to make sure we formally recognize you. Joe Mitchler and Angie Shaker, who are the people on the ground helping us stand up this and 5 other high school models this year. Let's give them a round of applause. And to all of the people, there have been a lot of people from the district that have been working in partnership with BARD and with our other campus to really make this happen. So let's just give a round of applause to all of those people. And also, we already, Dr. Dumaine already recognized our faculty, but I cannot take any time with our students or our educators without saying thank you. We do the hardest and most important work. And so thank all of your educators nice and loud and make sure they know how much they are appreciated for what they do. So to our partners from Bard College, you heard from Mr. Weinstein a lot of rarities. I would say there's a couple of rarities that I want to just really highlight. So there are other early college and other early college-like programs. But there actually is not another that I know of that not only it really insists that you're going to get that 2-year degree, but has decided to step out of their own community and think like a college or university and ensure that that degree is not only in their town, but is across our country. And so we have a Bard high school, early college, now 2 of them, because of a university that is that forward thinking. And so we should thank them for that, because that's tremendous, because there's other places that do not do that. Another rarity that I want you to add to your list, though, is that other than New York, which has 1 million people in it, 1 million students in it, I don't think there's another city that has 2 Bard High School Early College Clevelands, and I think that says a lot about our scholars and our educators. And so congratulations to all of you and to Bard for doing this for us. So when we were at the Bard West opening 3 years ago, we actually at that time had Leon Botstein, who is the president of Bard College, who gave remarks at that time, and he was talking about how the first class, who really was a lot like you, were the pioneers. And one of the things that we have learned as we open our new schools is that the first class is always a little smaller. And so there's 57 of you, and that's smaller than a typical first class. But that's because you're pioneers. That's because you're risk takers. I would say that's because you're rebels, right? And so being a rebel means being the ones that go out and do something different. And the good news is that we now know from our West Side campus and from lots of other things that our pioneers, our rebels, are the ones that win at the end of the day. So congratulations to all of our scholars for taking this risk, because it's a risk that will pay off. Congratulations to you. The last couple of things that I want to just point out is, yesterday we got our state report card. You get yours, I get mine. And ours said that I have gotten an F for what we're doing here. And that's the fact. We're not where we need to be yet. The difference is, and what it didn't say, is that so did lots of other districts. Columbus got an F. Dayton got an F, sorry. Youngstown got an F. East Cleveland and Warrensville Heights got an F. The difference is, we are the district that is saying, we're not going to just repeat the same thing and expect a different result. There is no other city in this state that has as many choices for our kids as a way of tackling that F. And that's why, in the Columbus newspapers, they wrote a line about how is it possible that Cleveland did better than Columbus. Well, it's possible because you have opportunities to go where you're going to succeed, and you outpaced Columbus. You outpaced Youngstown and Dayton and East Cleveland and Warrensville Heights. We do still have an F, but we're moving. And we're moving because students like you take the risk to try something new. Faculty like you take the risk to try something new. Partners like you take the risk to try something new. We haven't met Ohio standards yet, but we will. How do I know? Because Bard West graduated their first graduating class. When we started changing graduation rates, we were 24% behind Cincinnati. Today, we're 4% behind. We have closed our gap 20% in 5 years. That's how I know we're going to do it. And how do I know we're going to do it with Bard? Because the first class at Bard had a 93.3% graduation rate, an A on the report card, and 80% of that class had a 2-year degree when they did it. Yep. So I want to thank the rebels for being the pioneers, for being the rebels, for doing what this campus stands for and what this new innovative school inside of this campus stands for. Congratulations, everybody. We need to cut a ribbon. Now, my notes say that I'm supposed to ask the adults to come up, but I never actually follow the rules, so I need some kids to come up with the adults to help us cut this ribbon because it is your school. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Come on. You should have got those hands up sooner. You'll be more rebellious next time. Come on up here. Let's cut a ribbon.